All right. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us to learn more about the countywide International Baccalaureate program at Richard Montgomery High School. I'm Joe Jellin. I'm the magnet coordinator at Richard Montgomery High School. You'll see that there's Sorry about that. Good evening, welcome. I'm Joe Jellin, Magnet Coordinator at Richard Montgomery High School. Thank you for joining us this evening as we introduce our countywide International Baccalaureate program. I'm pleased to be joined by a number of folks this evening, one of which is our principal, Mr. Damon Monteleone. He's been the principal at Richard Montgomery High School since 2014, and he's going to say a few remarks to welcome you to our program this evening. Mr. Monteleone?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jellin. It's my honor to once again, I guess this is my seventh time welcoming parents and the entire countywide community to this event. And it's been an incredible 7 years to see the evolution of our program. I continue to be honored and proud to be principal of the most diverse and one of the most successful schools in the county, if not the country. And you know, you're going to learn a lot about our program tonight. You're going to see information about what the IB Diploma Magnet entails. You'll see some information about the incredible success we have collectively and as it pertains to some of our individual students. One of the things that's really important to us here at RM is truly being a part of the International Baccalaureate organization. We see ourselves as an IB World School for all of our students, for our middle years program that continues out of Julius West Middle School, as well as for those students that choose the 2-year diploma program and the 4-year magnet. And because of this, we really would love for everybody to see our magnet option not as a magnet program that happens to just end in a diploma exam, but it is truly an IB diploma program that happens to be a magnet. When you look at RM and you explore the possibilities that we have here at our school, I think you will find that it really is the total package. We have an incredible academic program with some of the highest numbers of AP courses available for students. We have 200 clubs and organizations for students to be a part of. We have an outstanding repertoire of varsity athletics, the dramatic arts, the visual arts. This really is a school where students can tap into all of their potential and really find their passion. And finding your passion really is what it's all about. We don't see ourselves as just a vehicle from middle school to the university level. It's truly worth investing your time here at RM and applying your learning. It's not just about the test scores, and it's not just about the status of the program. We believe and we advocate that our students really dig deep into material that they are excited about and pursue a path that is really important to them and that furthers that passion. And I think a clear example of this, honestly, is if you look at the fact that two out of the last 3 student members of the Board of Education for the Montgomery County Board of Education are RMIB students. And I think this is a testament to the program that we have here, where we encourage students to apply their learning, to be actors on the local stage, and hopefully soon the national and world stage. So I really encourage you to take a deep dive into everything that we have to offer. We feel as though our program prepares students not just for the next level of academics and of education, but truly gives them a really holistic foundation so that they can make a difference in our community and in the world and beyond. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this evening.
Hi, good evening. At the heart of the IB program is the understanding that what the world needs now, in addition to love, sweet love, is the ability to read the universe with a compassionate and critical eye. I have been an IB educator for over 20 years and an RM educator for 27. I can say with confidence and a dollop of modesty, of course, that no other program and no other school can provide young people with the skills they will need to mind the discord of the modern world, forge constructive fellowship with those whose cultures or beliefs are different from their own, and create the better and more peaceful world that will be within reach as soon as we place the world in the capable hands of the younger generation. On this slide, you see the required questions from the required IB diploma program course named Theory of Knowledge. As students grapple with these questions, they will learn to analyze what they know from a conceptual standpoint. They will learn to perceive seemingly disparate courses of study like math and the arts, for instance, as a happily married couple rather than desperate singles vying for affection. They will, we hope, learn to live their lives purposefully and with an understanding of the world that Batman perhaps conveyed best. It is not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. In the IB program, only knowledge that leads to responsible action is worth pursuing. Now we will hear from Molly Clarkson, who is the RM coordinator of the middle years program.
Good evening. As Ms. Shea mentioned, my name is Molly Clarkson, and I'm the IB Middle Years Program Coordinator at Richard Montgomery. The Middle Years Program is the IB program for students from grades 6 through 10, approximately ages 11 to 16. So our school actually has two IB programs that work together: the Middle Years Program for grades 9 and 10, and the Diploma Program for grades 11 and 12. Those two programs share one mission, which is, and this is one part of that mission, that they aim to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. This portion of the mission statement makes clear that the vision that Mr. Monteleone and that Ms. Shea spoke to is really embodied in everything that we do as a school, not just as an independent program. So as Mr. Monteleone mentioned, we are an IB World School for all students, and this mission is a big part of who we are and how we operate. I have taught at Richard Montgomery for 19 years, since the year that the Middle Years program started at RM. And I can honestly say in the time that I've been there, that the consistently amazing fact of our students' commitment to this vision is something that pervades everything that we do as a school. From the way that kids interact with each other, to their willingness to learn about their classmates, to their willingness to take on big problems and unique challenges. It truly is a school and a program which seeks to educate the whole child, not just their academic side. And with that, I'm going to turn things back to Mr. Jellin to talk about that academic side with the eye to the more holistic development of the child.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Clarkson. Appreciate it. So I want to remind folks, if you are following along at home and you'd like to ask questions, there is an opportunity to do so using this link. So you can ask your questions using this bit.ly link here. Feel free at any time. We'll monitor those questions as we stream and as we go forward tonight. Any questions that require some specific thought, we will, of course, respond to via email with those specifics. So I want to talk about how this program really ends in two diplomas. For students, they are not only working towards earning their regular high school diploma, they're also working towards earning their international baccalaureate diploma. And that diploma, it certainly stands out. It's the conclusion of 2 years of study. It is internationally recognized, and it's really tailored to showing students a broad and balanced curriculum in which students are encouraged to apply what they learn into the classroom. So that's really what that diploma represents. And we're going to talk some more about how students would go about achieving that diploma as we go through our presentation this evening. So we'll talk about the curriculum. The first thing to say is that in order to offer this curriculum, the school itself needs to be authorized to teach it. And Richard Montgomery High School has been authorized for 33 years to teach this special IB curriculum. And we are proud of that fact, proud of our history. We're proud that we are reevaluated every 5 years. It means that we have to continuously push our program forward, make sure that we are holding ourselves to rigorous standards, and that we're continuously improving. Well, those are the aims of our mission as a program, and it's what the International Baccalaureate Organization looks for in authorizing us to move our program forward. So I'd like to share a little bit more about the concurrency of learning. So Ms. Clarkson is our middle years program coordinator in grades 9 and 10, and Ms. Shea serves as our diploma program coordinator in grades 11 and 12. Students are completing all 4 years here. They are looking to continue their middle years program in 9th and 10th grade, where you can see the focus in those concentric circles actually looks very similar to what students would go on to in the 11th and 12th grade. So that language acquisition piece, the individuals and societies, the continuation of math. So you can see how the two curricula overlap, allow for this concurrency of learning, and allow for students to ensure that they're grasping concepts over time in their learning. In our program, you'll see how we have integrated the components, the approaches to teaching, the approaches to learning, the action, the service. All of this is embedded in the curriculum, as you will see in the next few slides here. So I'd like to say a little bit about the diploma program, this being this internationally focused college preparatory program comprised of these 6 mandatory fields of study. And those are those 6 fields of study that you see within the circle there. So the required courses, when we talk about the diploma program, we're talking about what's happening in 11th and 12th grade. And we'll go back in a few minutes to talk about what's happening in the 9th and 10th grade. But we kind of think about the end in mind. That is where we want students to leave us and ensure that they have the learner profile traits and the curricular knowledge in the diploma program, along with the middle years program. So you can see the required courses come from language and literature. That would be the study of English for our students. The second being language acquisition. So that would be the study of Spanish, French, or Chinese at Richard Montgomery. The third, individuals and societies, or more traditionally social studies. 4, sciences. 5, math. And then 6, the arts. And there's 3 core requirements that help unite that curriculum. Those 3 requirements are the theory of knowledge, a course that it's a philosophy course, an epistemology class that focuses on how we know what we know about the world. It's a neat class that helps students see these connections between different academic arenas that they're studying. The second feature of the diploma program is the extended essay. This is a large undertaking, a large research project that students undertake to complete their diploma. And then the third is creativity, activity, and service. This is fairly broader than student service learning hours would be, and more geared to students reflecting upon what it is that they have done to contribute to the wider community and the world. As we go into the center, as we approach the learner, him, her, their self, we come upon how all of these studies, we're thinking about how we approach teaching and learning. And so what's uniting this is again, those specialized approaches to teaching and learning, It's what we want students to see when they are in the classroom, and it's what we expect of teachers when they are approaching teaching. And they're unique to the diploma program and unique to the middle years program as teachers gear their curriculum to make sure that we have this destination in mind and are using, emphasizing critical thinking skills, etc. So in the middle of this is the IB learner, and the IB advocates this holistic view of education, that education isn't just about the attainment of knowledge, but about pursuing and producing successful individuals and lifelong learners. The idea is that we want to develop internationally minded people who recognize their common humanity, their shared guardianship of the planet, and again, are helping to create that better and more peaceful world. I think those are our noble goals for our students, and we are mindful of how we go about helping students achieve those goals. So students will go on to be a part of the IB's global alumni network. They will go on to be a part of this community for their lives. And it goes to serve them in making connections beyond just this high school experience. So I'll share a little bit about what 9th and 10th grade look like when we talk about the features of 9th and 10th grade and those middle years program subjects. You can see in 9th grade, students are studying English 9 at the magnet level. Their Spanish, French, or Chinese, depending upon what level they enter. That is also studied at the magnet level. Math, again, through the magnet pathway. Magnet biology, magnet government, which would prepare students for AP government at the end of the AP government exam at the end of that. And then we frequently recommend for students to take on their arts, tech, and PE credits at this time as well in 9th and 10th grade. And you can see the continuation on into 10th grade. So these courses are, again, preparing students for ultimately being successful in the 11th and 12th grade diploma program. But most notably, they are taking these courses alongside their cohort members. And that produces a unique experience for students in which they can be challenged in their thinking, pushed in their thinking. So we find that to be really a great thing about our program. We could get into some lots of complicating features about the diploma, but suffice to say that for earning the diploma itself, the International Baccalaureate Diploma, it requires that students study those 6 disciplines. They need to earn a minimum, or excuse me, they need to take a minimum of 3 exams at higher level. They need to take a minimum of 2 exams at standard level or max of 3 at standard level. Complete the extended essay, complete the theory of knowledge 1 and 2, and complete creativity, activity, and service. So those are the features. And what's interesting about this is that students really can choose their areas of focus, their greater focus and lesser focus, dependent on what they feel are strengths for themselves. So even though there is this prescriptive curriculum, what students find is that we have lots of options for students. And it's one of the things that makes Richard Montgomery stand out, because we are able to offer a great number of courses. So in 11th and 12th grade, here are our choices within the IB, the diploma program. So students need to satisfy those assessment requirements in those subject areas that you see there, groups 1 through 6. And you can see all of our choices there. Along the way, students will see they're simultaneously often prepared for advanced placement exams as well. So frequently students will also take those AP exams alongside the diploma program exams. what's interesting is, as opposed, I'm frequently asked the question of what's the difference between IB and AP. The difference has to do with one, the breadth and depth. So AP classes and the AP exam itself ask students to examine, 1,000 years of history, but really only go an inch deep, as opposed to the IB exams where students are being asked to dig deep into some subject areas and to do some critical thinking. And we see that in the subject exams themselves. Students are being asked to write. There are no or very few multiple choice questions in any of those international baccalaureate exams, whereas AP exams are frequently driven by multiple choice questions. So I'd like to talk about the benefits of the program. And to share a little bit, I think it's important to understand what universities say about an IB education. And I'll leave this quote on the screen from an admissions director at Stanford University. But universities really are impressed by IB students. They know that IB applicants have persevered through a rigorous program. They know that these are the same students that will persevere and graduate on time from their colleges and universities as well. So that perseverance is a quality that universities and colleges desire in applicants, something that stands out when colleges see these IB courses on a student's transcript. The other piece of this is just the statistics here. Again, the IB diploma stands out to colleges for sure. It gives students that edge over counterparts who may have taken honors and AP classes. Is this the pathway to the Ivy League? No. We never promise any pathway to Ivy League schools. But we do know that universities look favorably upon the benefits of the IB diploma here. To speak a little bit about the extended essay, because one of the features of the International Baccalaureate education is this, and something that colleges like about students who come from an IB background is their ability to write. So the extended essay is this independent, self-directed piece of research that ends in a 4,000-word paper. It's a significant undertaking for students. They have an advisor that helps them along the way. But one of the aspects here that's really critical is that students learn to write. They begin writing in 9th grade as a part of this program. And that serves as a foundation for them moving into 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So much of this program really does revolve around writing and writing effectively. And so those are skills that we build in our program. So a couple of the benefits of the extended essay, I'll put those on the screen there for you. The first from Jay Matthews and the second from a UVA study, just showing that preparation for college there. And I'll let you read those to yourselves there. I'd like to provide an opportunity for a parent's perspective, someone who has seen this firsthand, who could perhaps shed a little bit of light on how this looks at home, and offer a little bit of a parent's take on this. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Christopher Pease, who is a parent and the president of our RMIB Foundation. And I'm going to pose the question to him, which is, what are the benefits of an IB education as you see firsthand at home?
So let me actually start with, before home. I think my first experience with IB was in college. My college roommate in my freshman year had just earned his diploma from the International School in Geneva, Switzerland. Out of all of my classmates, I'd say he was by far the best prepared when we entered college. And that probably continued through. By the time I wrote my master's dissertation, I really hoped or wished that I'd been taught to write the way that he did. We were all science majors, and most of us were not great writers. He was the exception to that. So I think that his education was as rigorous as anybody's coming into college, but I think the big difference with him was how well-rounded he was and how talented he was. I think particularly with writing, like he'd had a level of training that the rest of us just hadn't had in high school. So I think the IB program, and I'm going to repeat a bunch of stuff that Mr. Jelen already mentioned. It teaches the kids to to think critically. More and more, we're having data thrown at us and facts and figures thrown at us, and there's things that we know. But this idea of knowing how you know something, in the theory of knowledge class is, I think, really critical. I think it's and I'm seeing it with, my 11th grader as well as even my 9th grader. They're challenging things when people are asking or making statements about, this is the way things are, and they'll say, well, why? How do you know that? And this idea of the theory of knowledge being taught this early in somebody's education, I think is really important. So I think the main takeaways I would get from the IB is this ability to write, this well-roundedness, and this self-knowledge of how do I know things, which to me, I think, is unique to the IB. And that's not just a Richard Montgomery thing. I think that's an IB everywhere in the world thing.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate your thoughts on how you see that program extend beyond the classroom. I think that is a unique feature of our curriculum, and seeing that it serves learners outside of school as well. So again, thank you so much, Mr. Pease. I appreciate your time and offering your perspective.
Sure.
So again, I'd offer this. If you have questions for us, we're monitoring our form. So if you have any questions, please do ask those via this bit.ly link that you see on the screen. And at the end of this presentation, we will address some of those questions that have come up often. And anything that is not, we will be sure to email you a response to. Thank you for that. So I'd like to share a little bit about the eligibility criteria for this criteria-based program. Students do need to be enrolled in at least Algebra 1, and they need to be enrolled in at least level 1 of Spanish, French, or Chinese, or be bilingual in one of those languages. And really the purpose of that is to ensure that students are prepared for at least IB standard level exams by 12th grade. And that would be our level 5 of these 3 languages that we teach at Richard Montgomery. The application itself, the high school common application will be accessible on Parent View. It is going up as we speak. Any questions? And so just a heads up, when you go into Parent View, you'll need to click on online registration on the online registration tab, and it'll say high school application. Any of those questions about parents' credentials for Parent View, those should be addressed at their middle school. So again, to get your Parent View activation code or anything else you need to have that can be directed to your middle school. Non-MCPS students would get their MCPS ID from their home middle school. That would be the other piece here. So how to get onto Parent View outside of MCPS, you will need to get that from your home middle school. There's one application for all of the high school choice programs. All of those programs will show when you can see your letter in parent view. And the deadline is November 6th for this application. The criteria. So what are the criteria for our criteria-based program? When we look at grade 8 students, this will include the student application, teacher recommendations, report cards, and an external assessment. There's no action necessary. Nothing needs to be done to collect those teacher recommendations. We'll take care of that. We are finalizing a plan for the external assessment due to that continued impact of school building restrictions. Once that plan has been made, it will be announced on the MCPS Special Programs website. And again, I would urge you to please continue to monitor that website. It has the most up-to-date information regarding special programs. And again, that's MCPS Special Programs, and you'll see grade 8 is where we're speaking this evening. I also want to note the cost. The cost for testing for these IB diploma, is about $750. It's about $125 per exam. And that would be in addition to any advanced placement exams that students might want to take. As a heads up, AP tests are similarly priced. They're $95 this year, actually. And once again, waivers are available for those students based upon financial need. We are an authorized IB World School, as I shared at the top of the program. We intend to remain an IB authorized World School. So we are committed to providing qualified 11th graders access to the diploma program. One of the questions I'm asked is how many students will enroll in 9th grade through this criteria-based program. We have about 125 seats, and those 125 students will be joined by a cohort typically of about 40 students in 11th grade who will join the diploma program from the Richard Montgomery High School cohort. That is, they are students who are going through 9th and 10th grade in our middle years program and have demonstrated that they are ready for the challenges of the diploma program. So this is just part of our philosophy and a part of what we do at Richard Montgomery. A heads up about selection. Those decisions will be mailed and you would receive a yes letter, in which case you would need to send in the acceptance of that invitation. You can receive a no letter, in which case there's appeal information included, or there's a wait pool option. So students will be notified if a seat becomes available through the summer. There is movement as students might move, as plans might change. So that is the decision process. I want to end by talking about our students. I think that at the center of this, at the heart of our curriculum, at the heart of our program, are our students. They are really the life and the joy of the program, and their accomplishments and what they're able to do is really exceptional. So I'd just like to highlight their experiences. Our students are involved in 38 different sports. Richard Montgomery High School is the 3rd largest high school in the county. It means that we have a lot going on. We have a lot to offer. There are 210 student clubs. And really what that means is that 100% of our students truly are involved. And involvement looks different from student to student. And it's something that makes the International Baccalaureate program at RM unique. This is just a sampling of where our students were admitted from the class of 2020, those who just graduated. So to give you some idea of where students went off to in their pursuits this year, this gives you a sampling of that. And again, we had 168 diploma candidates last year in the IB class of 2020. We had a 96% diploma passage rate, and the worldwide rate is 79%. It's a fact that we're extraordinarily proud of. I'm very proud and thankful of the work that Nancy Shea has done to lead that. But it is a testament to our teachers, to our commitment, and it's a testament to our students who are well prepared to go on to successfully earn their diploma. So you can see some other statistics. We're very proud of our students who go on to be recognized as a Banneker Key Scholar at University of Maryland, our 39 National Merit finalists. We really do have some impressive students that we hope your student will want to join and be a part of. Along the way, we are well aware that students will need support. We, as I shared earlier, we have trained IB teachers. Our teachers have gone through IB curriculum training. We have a homework club. We have a student support specialist that is a dedicated staff member who advocates for students, who meets with students, who's monitoring their grades. We have student tutors through the National Honor Society. We have counselors who have also been trained in the ins and outs of the International Baccalaureate. And we have a very experienced college and career coordinator who's available to meet with students and think through the college application process. I urge you, please, to explore our website. We have a lot of information about our program, about our offerings, about our courses, about anything that you could want to know. We have tried to put on our website. So you can find out a lot more about us via that website. So I'm going to go and take a look at some of the questions that you are asking and some of those questions that I'm seeing pop up more than once and make sure that I can address those. And like I said, if there's any questions that you have that you submitted, we will be sure to email you back with our answers. In addition, please reach out to me, reach out to us as a program. Our contact information is on that webpage that we shared. We're happy to connect you with answers. As it relates to the overall application process, unfortunately, I have not a whole lot of details more than what I was able to share tonight. So that is a stay tuned for additional information via the MCPS Special Programs website. One of the questions is about homework and the hours of homework that are typical. And I would say that that's a difficult question to answer, because I think that is a little dependent upon the student. It goes without saying, certainly, though, that the difference between 8th grade and 9th grade will be significant. It is significant for any student who's transitioning from 8th grade to 9th grade. So what I can say in our experience is that as 9th graders, students do become more proficient and efficient at note-taking, at reading, at understanding teacher expectations. So those things do improve over time, and we're very deliberate in how we teach students to do those things as well. Those are those approaches to learning that we are sure to teach students. Questions about transportation. You know, when we are back in the building, the transportation is defined as a central location transportation, as opposed to that door-to-door transportation. You can get a sense of where bus stops are based upon the bus routes that are posted on our website. But the idea is that parents are responsible for students' transportation to and from those centralized bus stops. Typically, they're elementary schools. They can be middle schools as well. Let's see. So the question about Yeah, so question about the program, the timing of the program. So our program spans 4 years. So students stay at Richard Montgomery High School for 4 years. They go through the courses in 9th and 10th grade that we highlighted this evening. And then they automatically matriculate into the diploma program in 11th and 12th grade with the aim to earn that IB diploma at the conclusion of 12th grade. Just looking at other questions here. So the question about, what's the difference between Richard Montgomery High School's county-wide program versus the regional programs? All of the program, Watkins Mill, Richard Montgomery, Kennedy, it doesn't matter. Any of these International Baccalaureate World Schools are all teaching students the same curriculum that's authorized by the International Baccalaureate Organization. The difference is scale, one. So the size of the program, Richard Montgomery is able to offer more of these courses because of the size of our program. As I shared, we had 168 students graduate from our diploma program last year. It means that we're able then to offer lots of different choices for students. However, that said, the curriculum remains the same. So IB Biology SL is the same IB Biology SL at Kennedy, for example. So that is something to note. There's a question about how challenging is the program? Again, that's a difficult question to answer because I think that depends on the student, certainly. But students should be prepared to work and to write. That's probably a significant feature of the program, as I shared. Students are going to be challenged. They are going to be taking courses that, this is to earn college credit ultimately. So just like those advanced placement courses and exams, students are being prepared likewise for university level assessment while they are still in high school. So there is certainly that as well. Let's see, anything else? Question about, how many students will stay with the program. So I can say that really, in terms of students who, once they commit to the program, once they're at Richard Montgomery, it is very infrequent. So one student, 2 students who will, over the span of maybe the first year, the second year, say, this isn't really what I thought this would be. And so students do say this isn't the program for me. But that number is 1-2 students in a year or over the span of our 4 years typically. So it's a pretty small number of students. And then just as a heads up, students would then, if they are not zoned for Richard Montgomery High School, that would be a process in which they would need to be going back to their home high school, just as a heads up for that. So I think I've answered a number of the questions that I'm seeing. Again, any of those questions that you asked via our form, I am happy to address. I will reply to those questions separately in the coming day or two. I appreciate your taking the time to view this presentation this evening. And I apologize for our technical difficulties. But thank you very much. Thank you for spending time with us. And again, if you have any further questions, please do take a look at our website and email us with any of those follow-up questions. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.